Hello, YouTube land. Welcome. Mute that. Mute that. Haley, how you doing, sweetheart? I haven't seen you in ages. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Ralph. Thumbs up to you, Haley. Psh, high five, Ralph. Psh, great to see you. Hope life's treating you well. I'm working on my lighting a little bit. I think I got some shadows, and I think if I put a light directly overhead, it will solve that problem. But I got more lighting in here. I'm hoping it helps. And I'm gonna order that green screen. I'm done with this window crap. Gulf Coast, how you doing? And good morning to you. Happy Saturday morning to you folks, especially those that don't have to necessarily work on the weekends. For those of you that do, I feel bad. And I hope your day goes smoothly, quickly, and if you make commission profitably. Eco guys, what's up? How you doing? How you been? How you feeling? I hope you're recovered. I hope life is treating you better and well and all that fun stuff. It better be, or else fisticuffs with Murphy's Law, right? Mr. Fulton says, good morning, Gil. On Thursday was my 23rd birthday. Whoa, yeah, that sounds awesome. And happy birthday to you. Good morning, Samantha's Lee's Originals. Mr. Fulton Mares, the Eco Guy. Yeah. Just Samantha's Lee's Originals again. Feeling better, still recovering. Well, just, take it easy. Don't overdo it. Don't overexert yourself. You know how it is. We're our own worst patients. You know what I mean? So, and I know a lot of us don't like to limit our daily production and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. But sometimes you just got to do it so that you can get better. You know what I mean? You don't want to exacerbate. There's my $5 word of the day. You don't want to exacerbate your condition at all. Yeah, geez, it's cold, wet, and gray down there. Eco Guy woke up this morning. Hi, how you doing? Sky wanted to say hello real quick. How you doing, guys? Sky Cam, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. See her? She gives me a hug. She loves the hugs. Yeah, you're such a good girl. Yeah, you gonna say hello to everybody? What do you want to tell them? What? Wait, what? Share the stream out? Hit the like button? Okay. All right. Well, you heard that, guys. So, yeah, share the stream out, hit the like button. Goose Sports, hello and welcome. Thumbs up and a high five. Great to see you. But anyway, the Eco guys, I woke up this morning around 4:30 or so, and it was negative 18 degrees outside. I haven't seen temperatures that cold in years. Now, don't get me wrong, it gets pretty darn cold in Maine, but negative 18, I haven't seen that in a while. Cute, my dog doesn't like getting on camera. She does. Look at her. She's still like, I want to be a part of the action, Daddy. You want to come back up and say hello again? You can come back up if you want to. You know what it is. They all just chase the cats out of the way. A part of it is I've got these coffee cakes on the desk. I think that's a part of it. What? I'm not giving you my coffee cakes. I'm sorry. Those are mine. They go very well with coffee, aka coffee cakes. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So how you all doing? How's your weekend going? How's your week been? How has life been treating you guys? Hopefully Murphy's Law hasn't treated you too badly. Hopefully we got through another week in a positive manner. Do we have any highlights? Do we have any positive things that had happened to us that makes us happier as a whole? There's 28 here in Louisiana. Oh my God, 28 degrees in Louisiana. I can only imagine. You guys must have been like, oh my God. That's like a heat wave in Alaska, though, right, Sam? That must be like a heat wave at this time of year. Negative 18. Sent one 1,000. Welcome. Thumbs up and a high five. Psh, great to see you. Sent one 1,000's like negative 18. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. 38 is too damn cold for me. Well, I certainly understand that. Yeah. Negative 18. Waking up to that, I didn't even want to deal with it. I was like, Speaking of diving with R5, welcome, my friend. Thumbs up and a high five. It is so good to see you. Hope life is treating you well. And life is good. And she's been seriously like bombarding my messages with like photos of awesome foods and stuff like that she is making. Let me tell you something. That girl can cook. She's got some skills. Don't know Diving with R5, for the love of God, where have you been? No, I'm just kidding. But you should check her out if you haven't done so already. She is my co-host as well. Usually we go live every Wednesday or so, and it's a lot of fun. You know, I have the rating system now, and today's stream is PG-13 because we're just all going to have a good time without, expletives, or a ton of expletives, I should say, and raunchy, in the gutter sexual references and stuff like that. I save that for other live streams that are rated R. So you don't have to worry about being bombarded with that here. And if you've got kids here, don't worry about it. This is a safe stream. So there, I'm just going to say that. Whenever you see PG-13, it's usually going to be PG-13 because every once in a blue moon, something will slip out. Not too bad, but see, let's catch up here. Hey, Eric Garcia, what's going on? Thumbs up and a high five. Psh, great to see you. Tales of the Solstice is in the house. Yes, sir. Great to see you. Thumbs up and a high five. Psh, great to see you. Great to have you. Thumbs up and a huge high five, everyone. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Samantha. I appreciate you saying that. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. The Eco Guy says we're looking at 30s tonight. And to Orlando people, that is the end of the world. Come on. There you go. Sent 1,000. I think that succinctly says it all. Well, my time off got approved, so I'll have 4 weeks of. Oh man, I got to put that up here. That's awesome. My time got approved, so I'll have 4 weeks of scrapping, cleaning, and maybe some cast ahead in February. That is awesome. So there's going to be a whole bunch of content. What you're telling me is there's going to be a whole bunch of content, recording and editing and like uploading and scheduling throughout the year, right, Ralph? We got a whole bunch of goodness heading our way. I love hearing that kind of stuff. All right, let's continue here real quick. PG-13, yeah, sent 1,000. I don't know if I've told you this or not, or you were in the stream when I've mentioned this, but on the first of the year, I started this rating system because I have a vast variety of viewers, right? So and some people, as you know, I can get on my streams and with me and R5 and whatnot, we can get pretty Kool-Aid-y. We can get pretty raunchy at times with some of the things we say, and that's fine. I don't mind doing that, but I just wanted to cater to some of the people that don't really necessarily care for that. And I know that I've lost viewers and even subscribers because of that. So I just wanted people to know that I don't talk like that all the time. It's just, it's just in good fun. It's just to have a good time and whatnot. So I wanted to start labeling the streams accordingly. So like this stream, for example, is PG-13. It's a safe environment. We're not going to be doing too many profanities, if any at all. We're not going to be doing the sick gutter references and stuff like that. Not that they're sick, but some consider them funny, but others consider them offensive. And that's the whole reason for it. So today it's PG-13 for that reason. Whenever you see rated R, like it's always in the title. It's always in the title. If you see rated PG-13, that's what the stream's going to be, like I just said earlier. If you see rated R, it's pretty much no holds barred. You know what I mean? It's cage match, no holds barred. That kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah. Eric Garcia says my life PG-13 kinda nah. The eco guy is you're trying real hard to be good. Let's see. Just trying to get the hell out of town. I'm over it. I hear you. Died by the fight. Hey, if you need like a weekend or something to get away, talk to me. You can get a flight up to Maine, although it's very cold up here. I know you don't mind the cold so much, but I know that Mike doesn't particularly care for it. But yeah, a little mini vacation never hurt anybody. Even if it's local, just do something different. You know what I mean? Break that monotony. Yeah, you told me. Okay, yeah, after all that, you told me. Sent 1,000 to the moon, Alice. Good morning. I'm off today. Quarantine because, oh no. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There we go. Good morning. I'm off today. Quarantine because hubby has the Rona, the rice-a-rona. Oh, man. Well, first and foremost, I'm sorry to hear that. Second most, I hope it's a quick and smooth recovery. I hope, he doesn't have, horrible symptoms. You know what I mean? Some of the later advancements of the Rona had very, very light symptoms, and I hope that's the case for your husband. Man, that sucks. When I am the eco guy in PG-13, when I'm John Wild, well, damn. So you did look at the title when you came in and you're like, okay, I need to switch over to the eco guy. That's my Clark Kent of sarcasm, right? Okay. So that, yeah, I hear you. That is very nice of you. Oh man. Yeah, exactly. It's too early. PG-13 appropriate. We don't want to break anybody's brains coming full on with the Kool-Aid right out of the gate, right? So there. It takes a weekend to drive there. Well, yeah, that's true. But like if you take a flight, like a cheapy flight or something like that, it would take you hours, So it's something to think about anyway. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Sky wants to say hello again. Can I have another hug? Can I have another hug, please? Can I have another hug? Hug? Can I have a hug? I love you. Can I have a hug? I love you. Can I have a hug? Oh. Hug? All right, there was the hug. Did you see her lean in? You saw her lean in. Yeah, it is forever chronicled on YouTube. Yes, I get hugs from my dog, okay? Yes, I love you too. You are a good girl. Did you want to tell anybody else on YouTube anything? She says she doesn't see everybody sharing the stream out. What else? Oh, there's not enough likes? There's quite a few people in here. There's more likes than people in here. She doesn't care. She wants more likes. I don't understand that logic, but okay. She also wanted one of my coffee cakes, but I'm not giving that to her. All right, let's keep on going here. Yes, he has the easier Omicron version of the Rona. Nearly over it. That's good to hear. Jeez, that's good to hear. Purple Tube, welcome and much love to you. Thumbs up and a high five. Junior A-Cat, how you doing, my friend? Thumbs up and a high five. Let's see. 71,000 says PG is when the kids want to watch Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah, maybe. I guess you could kind of equate it to that. Let's see. I'm running on a 4-hour nap myself. Went to bed at 5 a.m. Turned around and was up at 9 a.m. I hear you. I like my naps. I'm getting old, as you can see. There's more and more grade in this huge ass mess that I've got going on of a bird's nest of a beard. Can't say I like it much, though. I don't like this whole morality thing. I don't know how you guys feel about the whole thing, but I don't like the whole morality thing. I think we should all be immortal. Thank you, Purple Too. I appreciate you saying that. That's awesome. Diamond Without 5 says, just too expensive for a weekend with the pets and everything. I understand. That's fine. I completely understand. Just know, the last time, I hadn't taken a shower. Okay? That's why I stunk. No, I'm just kidding. Give me an idea. Eric Garcia says, give me an idea. Adorable dog equals massive views. Eric Garcia, that is so true. You look, search for Huskies on YouTube, and there are so many channels. I'm sure there's a ton of others, but like if you search Huskies, there are channels that have like tens of hundreds of, some of them millions of subscribers, and all it is their dogs. They personalize their dogs. Some of them have them speak, like when they bark and stuff like that, they have them saying stuff, which is pretty funny, which is adorable too, if you think about it. Cold. Yes. It was 18 below last night here. I cannot believe it. That isn't what I heard her say. I heard her say, it's almost time, my robot friends, to rise and take over. Yeah, I would imagine they do somewhere in the world. They probably have, Saturday morning cartoons. I think, naps make everything better. I agree. There's nothing wrong with a little siesta or a nap or something like that. I wish the U.S. would adopt the siesta mentality. You know what I'm saying? Let your employees sleep for an hour or two and then get back to it. A boxer channel? Maybe you should. I started a Husky channel, but I couldn't keep up with it. I couldn't, you know what I mean? It's like every time they do something adorable, the moment's already gone. But by the time I've gotten my phone and broke out the camera and pressed record, I've tried so many times, so it has to be like an on cue, on demand kind of video, which I can still do, but it's just, you want the Huskies, you want the dogs, the animals in their natural habitat, do you not? So, you don't want to prompt the adorableness. You just want it to spontaneously happen. You guys know what I'm saying. I hope. Gemma's Journey Grace, hello and welcome. Thumbs up and high five. Oh, wow. Gemma, you are strong this morning. Have you had your Wheaties and coffee or tea or something? Jeez, ow, you almost broke my hand. All right, let's see. -6 here last night. Yeah, it's pretty cold. Pretty cold. Traveling would be amazing. These are the moments I want. No pets. Understood 1000%, because I don't want any distractions from the enjoyment of the moment of the vacations, because let's face facts, there's only so many moments in a vacation, and you want to make each and every one of them last. Yes, indeed. Raven the Blackbird, hello and welcome. Thumbs up and a high five. Miss Canadian Scrapper, how are you? I hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. Thumbs up and a high five. Great to see you. Purple Tube, let's see. There we go. Purple Tube says, it is hard to get dogs on film. To get it, you have to be recording like 24/7 to get the cute moments. See? Purple Tube knows where it's at. It's difficult. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very difficult to get those moments. You know what I mean? Unless you stage it, and there could be, I'm not saying that cute moments can't happen when you stage something, like a friend or like a family member coming over that the dog really likes or something like that. But still, you know what I mean? There are other things that happens, and it's hard to record all that fun stuff. Sent one. See, I'm looking between two chats here, and I can only highlight via the StreamYard one. So let's see here. Gil, what could you do Wait a minute. What you could do is have some motion cameras in the husky only area and use that footage. Well, see, here's another issue, Sent 1000. Not that I'm trying to make excuses. It's actually a really good idea. But the whole house is the husky only area. There is no husky only area here. I don't cordon them off. I don't normally even cage them or kennel them unless there is no one in the house. And even then, it's usually only for like a matter of like 2 or 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, good idea. But it's just, I don't have a husky only area. You know, I thought about doing it when, now that's not entirely true. Okay, let me rephrase just a little bit. When I am working, like when I'm working during the day at my day job, Wayfair, you know, that fun stuff. Hey, Crazy Ann, much love to you. Thumbs up and a high five. Shrimp Shack, hello and welcome. Some people are hard hitters. It's great. Good. I'm glad you're strong. You drink a lot of milk, I bet. Okay. So anyway, during the day when I'm working at Wayfair, I cordon off the office. So all 3 huskies are technically in the office with me. Okay. So I guess that is considered a husky only area. Now, what I could do is I could set a time-lapse camera or, you know, something somewhere nearby and just let it go. And then, you know, eventually I'm sure some cute stuff will happen. Hi. Oh, give me a second here. I got to mute. My wife wants to say something. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Ego guy said, hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, I'm having a hard time with the 2 chats, so I'm just going to focus on 1 chat for now. I have enough mods in here to where if anything happens, if you see anything funny, I know and trust you guys, so I'm just going to look at the StreamYard chat. It makes it easier because I can highlight with the StreamYard chat. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's take a look. Tail says, when we got internet and most of the free local channels stopped airing cartoons, my kids started watching anime websites like Kiss Cartoon. Cool. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched Saturday morning cartoons in so long. Like if I want to watch a cartoon, usually I'll stream it. That's usually how life is nowadays. But yeah. Overture, curtain, lights. This is it. The night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every part by heart. My cat stopped being cute the second they notice we want to take that. My huskies do the same exact thing. It is funny as all hell. Like I'll break out the camera and I'll point it at them and they'll just stop what they're doing and stare at me. I'm like, no, keep doing what you're doing. You know, carry on. Eddie's. So yeah, I hope you're doing well, Crazy Ann. You know I love you. I hope life is treating you well. Did I see Melissa come in? Oh, somebody said hey to Melissa because she was talking to me earlier. Good to see her. All right, everybody's saying hello to each other. Hugs. My daughter's getting one. What exactly are you getting pierced today? What's it called? Helix in her ear. It's like the upper portion of the ear, I guess. Yeah. So and we're picking up an Oculus today, which is also cool. I'm looking forward to checking that out, seeing what that's like. Let's see. And yeah, smoke detectors. We're getting some of those too. So let's see. Raymond says, maybe I should spike glove, have the spike on the palm of me hand and give you a high five. That's not very nice, Raven. I mean, for the love of God, I know you're sitting there laughing. Be safe, guys. See you in a little bit. I know you're sitting there laughing your butt off, you know, like, oh, that would be so funny, but come on now. Oh, come on. You forget the songs of Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner show of the 80s? No, I have not forgotten that. I will never forget that. That and the Itchy and Scratchy show from, The Simpsons. I can't get that out of my head, like, ever. Doing really good. Oh, they forgot something. Doing really, really good. So we'll give it a few more minutes here, and then I'll break out a link. If anybody wants to come up and join, it would be awesome. You guys know it would be totally awesome. I love when Purple Tube and people like that come on up and just say hello. And we get to shoot the breeze and talk about all sorts of good vibes and things like that. And so let me go ahead and put the link out there for you guys. And I have to get back to the pop-up link here real quick. Hold on. Because I want to pin. See, I don't think I can pin comments in the StreamYard one. Let me go ahead and put the link here if anybody's interested in joining, and I will pin the message. Boom. There we go. Boom shakalaka. Oh no, John Wild showed up. It's nothing better than Sunday morning when I was a kid watching gratuitous violence on the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show. I know, right? I mean, the cartoons back in the day didn't... there's so many things that we did growing up that didn't, like, mentally or physically damage us in any way, shape, or form. And nowadays, it seems like some things are justified. Don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. But it seems like nowadays the kids are very coddled as compared to my generation or any previous generation. Welcome, Raven!
I was joking about the Spike.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, fine. You were. That's fine. Shark Scrapper, hello.
No, I do miss Saturday morning cartoons, and I miss all these cartoons that used to be on in the mornings.
Yes. Yep. I remember when I was like very, very, very young, watching like Transformers and G.I. Joe and
those cartoons.
And even some of the girl ones, like Gem and the Holograms and, a few of them.
Gem and the Holograms?
Yeah, you don't remember them?
Yes, I do.
Oh. You said that with such contempt. Domo Anita.
I just wish that they never got rid of the cartoon. But, a lot of people are saying, oh, the cartoons are too violent. And you got to understand, cartoons get away with anything.
That's true. There's no physics in cartoons, right?
You remember the Coyote and the Roadrunner? Every time the Coyote goes after the Roadrunner, everything goes wrong.
That poor Coyote either got exploded or a rock threw on top of him.
Or slam in the ground, and then you see a silhouette of him in the ground.
Domo Nin, I've pinned the StreamYard link at the very top of the chat. So anybody is welcome to join if they want to come on up and just say hello.
Come on up, people.
Yeah, come on up and join us. It would be fantastic to have you here. Let's see. Tails says they broke out the plastic rose colored bubbles around 2000 when it come to cartoons, and then by 2015, all the cartoons turned into pet shows.
That's true. That is so true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, even knowing that a lot of people don't want to watch the Cartoon Network or anything like that, because a lot of the cartoons are just too not funny in a way, or politically correct, as most of them would be now.
I understand, Crazy Ann. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. So what's new, Raven? Anything new and exciting going on in your life?
Not a whole lot. Just recently got this.
What is that? Tell us.
It's a 5G phone.
5G?
Yeah.
That's your first 5G phone?
Yep.
Nice. What kind of phone is it?
It's
Show us,
Mobile.
man.
It's
You're like displayed.
It's Boost Mobile Celeron 5G.
Nice. Very nice. It's got 4 cameras. Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, this one right here is the light.
Miss Sister Donna Cantor, welcome. Kitty Purrs, hello and welcome. Thumbs up and a high five.
I'm
and
just,
Bored Old Fart, welcome, my friend.
I'm seeing a lot of people getting new phones right now, and they're like getting higher end ones that are expensive.
I hate phone technology, and don't get me wrong. Okay, I know that this is going to sound like a misnomer after I like explain myself fully, but I love technology, but I hate technology. I love technology because of all that it can do. I hate technology because every time you buy something, within weeks or months, it's automatically obsolete. I hate that.
Yes, that's true. Technically, it's really not. It just a lot of people are seeing new phones come out because right now, i13 came out. I think you got an i11 or an i12, and that's more obsolete than an i13. And now, probably beginning within the next month, an i14 is coming out.
The point is, I got this iPhone 12, and within a month or so, I started hearing about the iPhone 13.
Yeah.
And how gaga that was going to be. And then the iPhone 13 came out, and like we're starting to hear about the iPhone 14. I'm like, geez.
Or the or any type of new technology, because right now, like even when you got Starlink, okay, they just came out with a second version of it, or they're getting ready to come out with the second version of it, and it's supposed to be square. The only problem with that one is it doesn't have a Ethernet port.
Right.
You would have to buy a cable with an Ethernet port for it.
Which, in a way, I really don't understand why they did that. Because, I mean, in truth, yes, there were trade-offs. The dish was lighter, which was fantastic. It was cheaper to make, which is awesome. And then huge, and you could disconnect the cable from the dish, which was also huge. But then you had to buy an extra adapter for what most people are going to do, which Wi-Fi router.
Yeah. And they said that one is a Wi-Fi capability router that they have built into that.
Yeah, Wi-Fi 6 or something like that. Yeah. The first one that came out was Wi-Fi 5. But yeah. Because
right now with my cable modem, it's like it's already been obsolete, and within this year or this month or next month.
I still have one of those too, the Eco guys. It's all dusty and whatnot, but I'm half tempted to go out in the garage and grab it and show you guys.
What phone? Oh,
like the old bag phones.
Oh God, my brother used to have one of those. My youngest brother. They actually have a cord for the antenna where you could just uncord the antenna and you can put it on the roof, and you still can use that phone like a car phone.
Well, no, basically with the bag phones, you had this little rubber ducky antenna that you screwed on there, and it was just a little tiny 6-inch antenna that came with it. And then you could buy like and the only reason I know so much about it is because I sold them. That kind of dates me, but I did sell them. Anyway.
Well, that was one version of it. There was another version where they also had the cable that's in the bag itself, where you can pull it out, put it on your car or wherever you want to put it,
right,
and still have it like that, and it's like really weird. And then I also
glad to hear that bored old fart.
And a lot of people remember the brick phone. Those big phones.
Oh yeah,
those Motorola ones.
That's it too. The software is always obsolete too. They're constantly upgrading that too. I think the software is a necessity because of potential hacking and stuff like that, and the hardware to some degree. But holy crap, the way technology progresses is just it's crazy.
It's like
yet we can't make it to Mars yet. I mean, come on.
They're trying.
Elon Musk is working on it, but come on, we should have been there by now. We should have had a colony on the moon by now.
Or like this. Remember the Back to the Future films? The second one where we're supposed to have flying cars this year or this time.
We were supposed to have flying cars by the year 2000, and here we are in 2022. We do have flying cars, but it is not a mainstream thing. It's still very much a novelty.
Yeah, or it's like you got to have a license for it. And right now, it's like you can't keep up with the way the technology is. And those ocular glasses, be very careful because a lot of people have been getting dizzy wearing those things.
Oh my God, I can't type worth the beans. There we go. Okay. So hold on to that. As a collector item, the price keeps going up. I don't even know if it works or not still, but I would suspect it does.
You mean those bag phones? No.
That's what they used to call them, Destination Chronicles. They used to be these rubber ducky antennas.
Yeah.
Because they were flexible. They were rubber and they were very flexible.
And they actually had a little wire antenna inside of it so it doesn't break. A lot of people like those because you can throw those around and you still get the signal from them. It's just that back then, using those type of phones cost you like $3 to $4 a minute, and that's how from now to what we have today is like incredible.
Now, okay, I'm going to leave this up here for a minute because wait a minute, yeah, just making up to Coffee and Skillz is on. Yeah, Skillz. I don't know about that, but I enjoy having you here. It's good to have you here. Okay, so let's get back to this real quick. I want to talk about this real quick. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's be perfectly pragmatic with each other when it comes to this. It is not financially viable to go to Mars yet. That's why we have not gone there. I would assume that's what you meant to say. Now, let's think about this for a second. Mm-hmm. We could have been there if there were a lot more individuals that were interested and inspired and motivated and enthusiastic about trying to find ways to make it viable. I think we would have been there sooner. Like, for example, Elon Musk and what's that other guy?
Jeff Bezos.
Thank you, Jeff Bezos. They are innovators of the time. If we had more folks like that in our history that stepped up to the plate and challenged the norm, I think we would have been in a better place. But because those sort of people were so far and few between, that's one of the reasons why it was so expensive and we couldn't do it. And I'm sure there are other classified reasons why we couldn't do it.
Well, there's a lot of people who are thinking that you can't go to Mars because you can hit the dome, and a lot of people don't realize we are a planet, not a dome. I mean, heck, a lot of people think that.
What?
And the mindset.
Dome?
Yeah, a lot of people think that we're living under a dome. The sun is like 1,000 miles, and not realizing when it goes supernova, we're screwed.
Well, no, but anyway, that was my 2 cents on it. You let me know what you think. You counter and let me know what you think. But that's my thought.
I'll tell you this. I think it would have been viable because a lot of people don't realize how fast technology is getting us there.
I agree, Shark Scrapper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times we see technology growing so fast that we can't always keep up with it. I mean, heck, look at the time from when we remember the bag phones, the brick phones, all the way up to these type of phones, which a lot of people don't realize. The phones are the ones that are tracking us every day.
I get what you're saying too, Shark Scrapper, and that brings up another point. I mean, if we get off this planet, I will be absolutely amazed, because we as a species create so much white noise and excuses for ourselves on why we can't do something and why we, you know what I mean? It's just freaking bananas. And you're right. There are some people that don't have the first clue on how to take care of this planet, and we don't take care of this planet like we should. You're absolutely right. But there's all that white noise going on. We as a species, we're not quite there yet. But I agree with Musk. We need to be a multi-planet species, because a rock could be hurled right at us, hit us, and destroy all life on Earth, and then it's done. Yeah. Unless those on the space station decide to figure out how to colonize Mars on their own, if they can get the space station to Mars or whatever. What's up?
There you go.
I figured you would come up, because this is this is a good discussion.
I liken it to smartphones.
Well, that's all they are. They're making people not smart. They're making them dumb.
No, that's not my point.
My point is
smartphones weren't a necessity until they became a necessity.
Yeah.
And that's when they decided to become something that people were putting money into. Going to Mars is the same thing. We've been able to basically reach Mars not long after we've been able to leave Earth's orbit. But the government wasn't interested in doing it, so they weren't putting money into it, and nobody else was financially interested in going there until we got there. And then they go, hold on.
Privatization. It took private industry. I'm going to say that. It took private industry to take it to the next level, though, Gaffa.
I know, because there was someone who was willing to find out what was on Mars to see whether it was financially viable, because they believed that Mars had more resources that we hadn't exploited yet.
Yeah.
That's all that's pushing this at the moment. Even Elon Musk is still looking at the possibility of what he can get out of being on Mars.
That's true, Scrapper.
Whether it's colonization or whether it's minerals and that type of stuff, because we're starting to run out of some stuff here.
Oh yeah, we are for sure.
Space is
and of course we've got climate change and all that fun stuff going on. Why go to Mars when the moon is closer? I'll give my take, and then you guys can have your take here. My take is this: the moon is indeed closer, but it's a fraction of the gravity of Earth. Mars is more like Earth in certain ways. There's more resources there. The temperature is there. It's closer. There's an atmosphere there. There's more of a possibility and more of a likelihood that we're going to be able to terraform it. Whereas the moon, there's no possibility of terraforming. We'll be able to have mining colonies up there and things like that. But what are your thoughts, guys?
Think about it financially, which is the easiest one to terraform.
Unfortunately, it would be Mars.
Because it's already halfway there. Yeah. We don't have to put so much money into actually making it further. As far as they know, there is water on Mars, just not in the abundance that the Earth's got.
There's water on the moon too, in the poles. I believe.
Not only the poles. It seems like a lot of people think that the moon is not even real, and a lot of people think that they don't.
Get it done, Granny. E-Waste Mike. Great to see you guys.
So and all they got to do is find out how to utilize what was on Mars, and seeing as there's a certain amount of atmosphere, the temperature's just right. The moon's not. The moon's cold. The moon's barren. The moon's got bugger all going for it. But we'd have to generate so much energy, turning it into something worth living on, even if it is closer.
Yeah.
The moon is
but
also
Mars is
tightly
not.
locked.
Well, we would have to build facilities on it. We would have to make the facilities able to sustain life as well, because
It's not.
if you punctured a hole in it, say you put a building on the moon,
Yes.
and it's like sealed real good, and you have a
Yes.
puncher in it, it's going to literally still cause more problems for people.
That's one thing the moon's got over Mars. It's already got its plastic pollution and waste up there. But the issue is though with the moon.
That's not technically true though, Gaffa. We've got plastic and metal and stuff on Mars too.
Now we never had before we went there. Okay. The truth being, though, if we increase the volume and intensity of the moon by building on it, would it affect the gravitational pull it's got on Earth and its situation within our orbit?
Probably not.
No.
You sure?
All right. So let's restate your question. Rephrase the question. Because I think I know what you're saying, but I want to be sure.
If we increase its mass by building and constructing on it, because we're not going to do it in a small amount. We're going to slowly but surely make that thing bigger and bigger and bigger, especially when it comes to need to being populated. Will it change its distance from Earth and its gravitational pull?
I'm going to say no.
A little bit more.
No.
The reason I say no is because, yes, initially we're going to be bringing our own materials from our planet up there when we first start creating colonization and colonies, but we're already talking about ways to use the materials on that planet to create, habitats and buildings and technology and things like that. So it's going to be in the short term, yes, we're going to be bringing stuff to the planet to colonize, but in the long term, eventually those materials are going to be made from the materials on the planet. So I have to say no.
So the question is, do you know what the moon's made of?
Well, from research and whatnot, the moon has a lot of similar materials that the Earth does.
Not in the abundance or the same that what we have. So there is still a chance that we're going to add to its mass in order to
That
make
is true.
Because it's got lower gravity, it's got no atmosphere. These things have to be generated to be able to afford for us to be able to stay up there. So we have to increase it in some way. So if we increase it, will it affect the distance and the gravity, and will that affect Earth, and then so forth? It's easier for us to go to somewhere which is half decent further away. That's not going to affect our gravity as much. So Mars is the next. But not only that, they also reckon that Earth's going to get so close to the sun eventually over the next few billion years that colonizing Mars would have been a better idea anyway, because that's where we're going to have to move to when the time comes that this planet's not livable.
My hope is if our species even survives that long, my hope is that we will be long gone or colonized a lot of the galaxy or are exploring other galaxies by then. Because that's a tremendous amount of time to evolve.
But in every fantasy sci-fi you ever know, Earth's always still been the base. No matter how far into this fusion, how far we've colonized according to everyone's imagination, everyone's idea.
Well, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Come on. Let's face facts. When sci-fi movies are created, you have to start with a relatable baseline, and that is Earth. That doesn't necessarily mean in a million years Earth is going to be the central point of humanity.
No,
or even if Earth's still going to be here.
That's what I'm saying. Mars will be the next stage out, where it'll end up being in the zone that's perfect to be habitable or by itself. So that would be the next logical place to go to.
I completely agree.
So if in a million years, if we need to move away from Earth because Earth's not habitable anymore, we've already set up Mars. We just take everything to there, and we might even be able to take our own moon there and get that to go around and get the tides working again, and we should have the technology by then.
Well, I mean, every solar system's days are numbered because a sun is finite, just like everything else. It's born, it lives through its cycle, and then it dies. They're even talking about ways to colonize Venus, not necessarily the surface, but like the actual atmosphere itself, because there's a certain point in the atmosphere where it gets to the point where it's the same like pressure as the surface of the Earth, and there's materials within the atmosphere that can be collected for fuel and things of that nature. So they could be very well floating cities in the future.
I really would like to have been alive when they actually proved that Planet X actually exists.
Me too. Me too. Everybody's talking about this like gravimetric mass that's pulling the outer planets and pulling the Oort cloud and this, that, and the other thing. I would love to see someone finally find it. We're looking at other galaxies. I mean, we're looking at like 200,000 years before the Big Bang with the Hubble Space Telescope, and God knows how much sooner with the new one that just launched. Why can't we find Planet X? It's probably not there. I don't know.
No,
We don't.
I personally think they're looking in two aspects that are just not allowing them to find them. First off, they're looking too close, which means they're sticking within our solar system and not working outside of our solar system. And two, they're looking too far away from our solar system and everything else that's happening, instead of trying to find out a big, massive orbital body that takes thousands of years to go through our solar system, affecting it in general, and seeing where that is in the whole of the Milky Way and our galaxy and so forth and so on. That's the thing that spins me out. Why can't they kind of like concentrate a little bit more on the in-between parts instead of looking at these little bits and pieces here and there everywhere else?
Yes, I've watched Futurama.
Yes, I remember Futurama.
Raphael Scrapper, how you doing, buddy? John Ross, how's it going?
The thing is, a lot of people don't realize how technology is advancing so fast that a lot of people don't realize you got something that you never expected.
It's not only that. My whole idea is the reason why we won't colonize the moon is because, according to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I reckon the mice have already colonized it, and that's because that's why everyone believes it's made of cheese, because it belongs to the mice.
Either that or cockroaches. They stowed away on one of the missions, and they evolved very quickly in the vacuum of space.
Or the Germans do have a secret base on the other side that nobody knows anything about, and we're just not going to tell everybody.
Still not in that theory.
You have heard that theory, haven't you?
Oh, I actually saw a movie a while back.
Take care, Shark Scrapper. But yeah, I mean, regardless, humanity's got a lot of growing up to do and learning, if you will, to get it together with its own planet. But at the same time, yeah, we do need to become a multi-planet species. I agree with Musk, because we've got all our eggs in one basket right now. And it's not really that hard to believe that there could be some sort of cosmological event that could end life on Earth. I mean, it almost happened with the dinosaurs. I mean, it what is it? Every couple million years we get hit by a giant rock.
Well, there is a meteor that a lot of people don't see that's coming to the world.
It's good to see you, Shadow Scout Swede.
To answer Tales of Solace, even if we spent the money to fix the planet that we're on, we're going to fill the planet. This planet, physically, with its ecological system at its max, can only handle the human race to a certain size. Sorry, but we are going to run out of fresh drinking water. We are going to run out of usable space for people to live in. They're trying to terraform the desert. That's not always a good thing. Deserts are very important to the ecological system of the Earth, the same as the Alps are. So there's going to be a point where we are going to tax what the Earth can actually support in the way of human civilization. We are a virus, in my opinion, on this world, growing faster than any species and taking over and developing it faster than any species. We survive longer than we should do. We heal better than we should do. You have a look at the wilderness and the wild out there, they're keeping their populations under control through various different ways, and we fight them every single time. So for us to recolonize another planet allows us to keep growing and keep developing and keep becoming more of what we have been doing for the last 2,000 years, as it were.
I agree with you.
I believe Elon Musk has got that vision, and I believe the more Elon Musks that we have in this world, the quicker we're going to get to where we are heading.
That's exactly what I was trying to say earlier.
So fast compared to what we were doing 50 to 100 years ago, that if we don't prepare where we're going, we're going to collide with it so badly, we're just going to have a Mad Max situation as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. Diamond R5. Oh, there you are. Okay. It's like, you know the rules. I got to see a video of you. I got to see you live before I bring you up here. But yeah, no, humanity isn't unlike a virus. You're absolutely correct.
I haven't heard anything from Fulton, and he just comes up.
Nope, I'm turned.
Everything started on another planet when it comes to organic matter, as far as I'm concerned. If it wasn't for the collision of certain meteorites with certain compositions and everything else hitting the Earth, and it's the sweet zone that's really made the Earth the way it is. They say, yes, Earth happens once, there should be another. Yes, there should be another planet somewhere out in the galaxy and the universe that should be in the same situation that we are and doing exactly the same thing we are. But the chances are a hell of a lot lower than people think it is. We were what they would class in the religious circles a miracle of nature. We just happen to have everything work at exactly the right time and exactly the right way, so that when the moment happened, we terraformed and we started becoming a livable planet where organic matter started to grow. All the others just weren't in that, and there's not that many out in the solar system that found that can actually be exactly the same. I think they've found 3 since that they still can't guarantee that they've even got intelligent life on.
Hot Sauce Chunky Tim, hello and welcome, Diamond R5. How are you?
I'm here.
Don't you be standing there all upright and proud like that without saying hello and how you going?
Take care, John. Have a good day, buddy.
You're usually the one that don't stop talking. Get your ass close to the camera where we can say hi to you properly.
Eco guys, yes.
I'm as close as I'll give you.
To Spaceballs? Planet Spaceballs?
Oh, God. Yeah. Spaceballs movie.
She was saying something else.
But I'm still going to flick you off, okay? Deal with it.
Yeah.
The Eco guy said, I want to go to Planet Spaceballs. And then you said, I'm close. I'm the one closest to that. Or I'm as close as I'm going to get or something like that. I don't know. Don't mind me. I'm still sipping coffee.
I just got done stuff for the canner, so I'm up in the kitchen trying to do that. So I figured I'd try my phone.
Well, I'm glad you did. It's coming in fine. You look fine.
You're fine. I'm just shit stirring.
Yeah, fine. It's fine.
The phone gives me the static issue sometimes, so I never know what it's going to do.
Well, don't touch it or move it or shake it or anything. And
I think it's typically got something more to do with the charge of the battery.
Take care, Junior A Cat. Hope you have a good day.
You know, Crystal, if I would believe that if the smartphone was so bloody smart, it'd be sitting there doing that for you while you sit and talk to us.
Hot Mess Missy says hello.
Missy.
Hey, Missy.
It is really good to see you, sweetheart. You're welcome to come up. The link is at the top of the chat. It's pinned if you want to come up and say hello. It's a PG-13 stream.
Yeah, I just literally enjoyed a lot of things that I see.
And I am doing my best to keep it a PG-13 stream.
Me too. Me too. It's harder than it. I mean, it's easier said than
about
done.
it constantly.
Because I'm constantly
What the
thinking,
fuck is going on here?
And the thoughts to verbal, saying it's not that far of a road. So
I just
half my brain,
PG-13 easily.
Half my brain is concentrating on behaving myself and not on the topic, so I can talk a little bit better.
It's like
half a brain to discuss. I could probably have a really good discussion.
So what you're saying is you're here because you enjoy a challenge.
I don't get choice. Yes, I'm here because I enjoy a challenge and a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it nicely. If anyone else was having a PG-13 stream, I wouldn't be on there.
That's
amazing.
I appreciate the testament to the respect you have, then.
Missy, I just woke up too. I didn't see you next to me.
Wait a minute. She's right here. How could she be there and here at the same time? Missy, you're
oh, is that why I didn't say anything? Okay, no.
Okay, yeah. You didn't look further beyond her because I'm on the other side. I don't know how that happened, but it did.
If you're hearing my cat.
Crystal goes.
That was
What's going on?
Oh, excellent. Yes, this is a coffee stream, Shadow Scout Swede. Definitely. Bring it on. Bring the coffee.
Got the wrong icon on. There you go.
Bring some to share. Crystal needs it. Did you see the look she had on her face just a minute ago?
I need more than coffee.
Oh, my goodness.
You like how my icon disappears when I don't talk? It blends into the background.
Gulf Coast, I completely understand. You go take care of those scrap metal. I got to do a lot of scrapping myself today. I'm hoping to get some filming done too. But I hope you have a great day, my friend.
All right, so where did the conversation go? Because as soon as Crystal come up here,
I don't know. It kind of stopped, but regardless, yeah, we started talking about technology and how fast it's evolving, and then we started getting into the philosophies of man and whether or not they're worthy to expand into the stars. Uh-oh.
Yes, Missy. Yes.
Got TR5s right now.
Damn, I thought we were really privileged then to have two of you, but apparently we were just being.
That would have been amazing to have two R5s at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon so too. I reckon that would have been absolutely wonderful.
I give up. Every time I hit a freaking button, I push myself out of the freaking stream and I have to re-enter.
Oh, man.
Stop caressing the duck.
I do this.
Duck.
Goose.
So,
Gil, I don't know if you ever seen.
Hold on, let me blow you up there. Yes, the Addams Family.
No.
Munsters.
Wait, no, that's not the Addams Family. That's
the Munsters.
Munsters. Yes.
Well, Rob Zombie is rebooting the series again, or rebooting it a little.
Oh,
yeah. See, that's the silly thing that gets him about the world. Here we've got Elon Musk bringing in new, innovative, way out there things we've really been hoping and craving for quite a few years, and there we have the entertainment industry clutching at straws and bringing back shit that we enjoyed when we were a kid. Going, we haven't got anything new to bring here, so we'll just bring up some of the old shit. And then they make it worse. They don't make it better than what we originally imagined. They make it worse, and then we go,
I know.
Why did you bother?
Well, a lot of it is it's that woke mentality, and I think like Hollywood and Disney and a lot of others are starting to realize, the woke, go woke, go broke mentality. So they're starting to retract some of that.
A lot of people don't know who Rob Zombie is because he's actually a musician as well as a producer of this film, which probably he's following the original to the T, because anytime you reboot a series or something, it turns out to be okay. Other people criticize it because of the way it looks like. It's like not giving the character a chance.
I know. I'm just been very disappointed in commercial TV and the movie industry of late, because their attempts to claim on the memories of generations has really left me in the idea that nobody has any innovation anymore. The only thing that I actually seriously believe was a success and should never really be tried again was Doctor Who. When they rebooted Doctor Who, they did it in such a way that they caught a whole new set of generations that were in the zone to receive an upgrade of that, and it just took off like things. Then when they, unfortunately, this is my opinion, this is nothing sexist, but then when they changed it to a woman, it killed the series.
Yes, it did.
There are some there. It's so touchy. Like, there are some instances where gender swapping worked, like the new Battlestar Galactica versus the old Battlestar Galactica. What's her name there?
Starbuck.
Starbuck, thank you. When they switched Starbuck out, I thought that worked really well. That's one of the few exceptions.
But they didn't gender swap to the stage they have with these other things. They only gender swapped a few roles where it did improve it, but they kept the overall unisex right throughout it in certain aspects. But like when they did the Ghostbuster remake, that was totally
that was terrible.
Why ruin something good by turning it into something only females are supposed to be able to do? You got a bunch of female comedians to do the same roles that we've already enjoyed and so forth.
It's not so much that, it's the mentality. It's the mentality that some people have. Is like, well, it's like people that don't believe or don't believe that there's equality or enough equality. So it's like, I got something to prove. Women can do it just as good as men. So, we're going to create the same basic movie, but we're going to have women lead stars instead. Instead, all you're doing is ruining a perfectly good legacy of a movie by doing that.
Yeah, which is brilliant. If they took a totally different movie that nobody's ever thought about before, that was made that really didn't do that well, that nobody hardly ever heard of, make it all female, and then make a very bloody good one of it, so that when it goes on there, people go, geez, that's a phenomenal movie, and it was all female. But they didn't. They took a really, really well-known movie.
There are some kick-ass movies with female leads in it. Yeah, but can you imagine making a remake or a reboot and gender swapping Ridley from Aliens or whatever her name is?
How many in here watched Ghostbusters Afterlife?
I saw the very end of it.
Yeah, I saw the ending of it too.
I don't watch TV really, so I'm not a good one to critique on any of this.
Well, see, I seen the whole entire film. It was done a lot better because Ivan Reitman's son, who did the original Ghostbusters, his son did it in tribute to Harold Ramis, which a lot of people don't realize that's right at the very end of it. Was a tribute to him.
Yes, and that was such an endearing moment. That was probably one of the best, if not the best, moment of the film, and that's probably the only reason why I watched it that particular moment. Okay, Destination Chronicles. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Hell no! Do not change Dirty Harry.
Well, no. Here's the thing. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When people, there's already Dirty Harry. There's already a Superman. There's already, a Flash. There's already this and that. Don't remake that character with some other sex or nationality, or try to change up the makeup of that character. Create a new character. Create a new character. Be broad. Be original. Be yourself. But don't try to take over someone else's identity, for Christ's sakes. Sorry.
And yes, I do agree
That's okay.
with who was it? Destination Chronicles. Unfortunately, when the original producers and directors and the makers of the new Doctor Who series decided to leave the new Doctor Who series because they'd had enough, Doctor Who did not head in the same direction. Putting in that last male Doctor, I can't remember his name at the moment. I should, but I can't. I hate these mind breaks. He was too old for the role at the time he was put in. Because up until then, it was young, energetic doctors that kept the life going and kept things interesting and kept things bouncing. And then he came in and made it all grandpa-y. And that started making the series go downhill. And then they thought, oh, well, then maybe we need to change it up a little bit because it's getting to be sexual orientated towards women on most things now. So let's make Doctor Who a woman. My argument with Doctor Who being changed into a woman, if they're able to change sex like that, then what's the point of sex in general?
Yeah, that's true.
They basically live forever and have the power to regenerate themselves endlessly, so there's no need to constantly populate the earth. And if they can change sex anytime, what's the point of sex? Why don't they just be unisex?
Well, here's the problem with that. See, and this is always going to be the case with humanity. I don't see us ever changing. You take away the legitimacy and the validity of someone when you take that role and you give it to someone else of a different race or a different color or a different gender. You take away. So like Superman, for example, they wanted to make a colored version of Superman. Now I don't have a problem with colored superheroes. I don't have a problem with anybody colored. Please don't think I'm a racist by saying this. This is just talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why you're taking it away from that person? You're taking away that identity, and you're starting to mess with the genetic profile of the character. Why do that when you can create a brand new one?
Or
that might even be better. Who knows? It might even be better. But if you keep making copies, and you try to, that's the definition of insanity, trying to make different things with the same result or better results. It just doesn't work.
The other thing that went on, there were other heroes of different sexes. There were other heroes, different races. There were other heroes of alien orientation as well, that they could have made as good, as better as what they did in the Superman the movies. And I'm telling you, there were long followers of the Black Panther, and there were long followers of Aquaman, and there were a lot of followers of the Flash, and they could have all been, at the time of being introduced, been made to be a little bit more of what they were, instead of taking one and saying, let's make it this because we think that everybody should think that he was that. It's like trying to make God male, female, black, white. We don't know what the friggin' what colour, creed, or nationality God was. He could have been Ethiopian for all we know. The issue is it's changing it in people's eyes. It's not a good thing.
Well, exactly. I mean, if you take something that was originally made, like say a lead character with a man, and you try to make a movie with a woman, you're taking the legitimacy and the validity of the man away. Mm-hmm. If you take a person that was a black person that had a lead role, and then you try to make a remake movie like that with a white person, people are going to lose their minds. You know what I mean? Yes. It just takes the validity away from the original character.
Well, like I've been noticing that DCU.
Seriously, gamer. Seriously.
The DCU is trying to change all the characters right now.
I guess she believes in recycling.
No, I would like to have a
I hope I don't appear racist by
I get
saying
down
that.
that
I'm
road.
not trying to
No,
sound
you're not.
racist. I
No,
really
I'm just
don't.
saying, if you're going to want a particular character, build that character from scratch, from what is viably
Exactly.
agreeable at the time for the people. I mean, Kung Fu was a big thing for a while. So how come we can't have a Kung Fu superhero? And why does it have to be
Exactly.
Chuck
Oh yeah,
Norris
Raven. Let me give you a
or those
quiz
people?
on how many Ghostbusters movies you saw.
Louis, pulling my plug here,
I
bro.
saw them all. I mean, I hated the 2016 one. I'm not saying the people who were trying to make the movie okay, but it did not go well with me because they started treating the original characters like really terrible characters, and you literally saw them also on the
Look at some of the
2016
male
film.
characters in that. Look at what's that dude's name that plays Thor? I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Him,
They turned him
Hemsworth.
into like this. Anyway, it's a perfect example of what we're talking about today. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's like it was
Well-
women. It was like my race can do it. My gender, my race can do it better than your gender or your race, and that's woke to me. You know what I mean? It's like no, that's almost the very definition to me of being racist or being prejudiced is like lashing out like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Missy, I disagree. I really do think this is part of the ongoing fight we seem to have between races and sexes and everything
Yeah.
else, some of these changes. And it is obvious by the way that they don't add to what they originally was there, but they try and downgrade and belittle the originals to try and make it look better as it was.
Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth. Thank you, Destination
Issue,
Chronicles.
issue being
Did you
is,
hear me?
I didn't.
Chris.
I didn't.
Chris
Sorry.
Hemsworth.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
People don't realize it, but the third Ghostbusters movie was already killing the franchise. That wasn't one of the best Ghostbusters movies they put out there. I think they were just trying to run on the success of the other two, and then to put out a fourth one and hope to help because they had women who were going to do better. I think that was clutching at straws.
I
no,
want to
see-
agree with that, Hot Mess Missy. I think it is a part of it, but it's by far not even half of it. I think it's a part of it, but it's yeah.
They should have stuck to the comic book heroes.
It is this generation that do not quietly understand what's on how to make a characters because people in Hollywood are trying to rewrite everything
money.
for the money.
All at the same time, they're trying to make money, so
Yeah.
they're throwing all of they're throwing caution into the wind by manipulating the racism and the genderisms and all that, which that's dangerous. It's proven that it doesn't really make money.
When it comes to role model superheroes, Captain Marvel, which originally when I was young was called Mrs. Marvel, Captain Marvel adaptation to being a female was a very big success in my books, and they didn't run with it enough to make it competitive with Superman. So if they wanted a female Superman, they should have made her big enough for it.
The thing is, Captain Marvel in the DC universe was a male, not a female.
Say what?
The DC universe's Captain Marvel.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was,
and
it was, and it had a totally different original reason of how he was and who he became, and so forth and so on. And there was a whole family who eventually built around it. But when the Hollywood and the powers that be decided to bring out and remake a hero in the image they wanted to be, Captain Marvel was one of the ones that actually succeeded, and they should have ran with it. They should have taken that strong female, powerful version of Superman.
Started off in DC, but isn't
Captain
it's
Marvel
also a Marvel character
universe
well,
because
now?
The Captain Marvel in that universe was a female based on a comic book of a person that literally was supposed to be abducted by aliens or touch a little object that literally gave her the powers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they should have taken that as a superhero
Yeah.
that rivaled what was going on in the current Superman franchise and everything else, and they would have kept doing it if they kept putting money into it. But it hasn't gone down that road yet.
One of I'm going to use the Green Lantern Corp as an example here because they originally started out with a you forgive me because I don't know the names, but they started off with a white Green Lantern, and then they had a colored Green Lantern, and then they had a female Green Lantern. But eventually they made it clear that they were different people.
Yes.
They were different people. They had their own identities. There wasn't a different version.
Hal
of
Jordan.
character.
Hal Jordan was the original Green Lantern. Okay.
The concept of
hold on. The other guy, the black one, was supposed to be a different person, but still part of the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah,
the
they're
concept
different
of
people.
Green
Yeah,
Lantern-
I can't
the
think of his
concept
name.
of Green Lantern didn't have anything to do with the person. It had
No.
to do with the power that was being wielded.
Right.
The only reason the person was even significant was because his ability to have a strong willpower. Then the ring, which is what all the Green Lantern was all about, was then passed on to that. And the only reason why they changed race, color, sex, or whatever in the Green Lantern series throughout the comics was the original Green Lantern either disappeared or had a mishap where they died and it was passed on. And that's why you ended up with Hal Jordan, and then you ended up with, I can't remember the guy's name, and that's so rude of me. And then there was females, and then you developed the whole idea that around the universe there was all different types of species that were Green Lanterns, and that then opened it up to being allowed that anything could be a Green Lantern. So everyone was already susceptible to the fact that it doesn't matter. Green Lantern wasn't a specific character like Superman was. He was able to be somebody that the Ring chose to be, and that the Guardians of the Universe and everything else allowed it to be. So Green Lantern was a good one. But as I said, when it comes to you want to really push home this sexist, this women have got domineering and women Me Too movement like they did, in my opinion, with Ghostbusters, they had that with Superman when they went for Captain Marvel, and they should have ran with that, and they could have come out of that franchise with a lot of support and money and a better argument for everybody.
I'm gonna interrupt. I'm hopping off.
You taking off?
Yeah, I don't watch movies. Like, I have nothing to say to any of this. I'm just
It's okay. It's all right.
The guy.
Hey, we started with Mars. We only ended up on movies. We're going to end up somewhere else.
Yeah, what do you think about Mars and colonizing other planets, Crystal?
Well, my phone's near dead, and I got other things I got to get done. So.
Oh, she's totally done with this live stream. It's okay. Much love. Hope you get a lot done, sweetie. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, it's Hal Jordan.
Yeah, Hal Jordan. Yeah, and John something.
I'm kind of looking up the people who play. Okay, Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart. Thank you, Jon Stewart.
That's just a character's name, and then there's a female one, which I can't really. It doesn't really say who the female one.
And I don't understand. The one thing I don't understand about
Joe Millennia. I can't. And then there's like several different people who played in the Green
the
Lantern.
silly thing about it is Hal Jordan wasn't the first Green Lantern. So anyway,
well, hot mess. Read this for a second and soak this in for a second, Goff, of what I got on the screen here. You're absolutely correct. Look at the Batman series. Okay, this is a perfect example of that formula. You've had what was the original Batman on the series? What was his name? Something West.
Adam West.
Adam West. Thank you. So it was Adam West. You had Adam West. I'm sure you had a few others in the mix, but then you got into the movies, and you had Michael Keaton, you had Val Kilmer, you had George Clooney, you had what was that other guy with the trio?
Chris Bell.
Batman Begins and all that.
Yeah, that's Chris Bell.
And then you had what's his name there with the Justice League, Ben Affleck, and then ultimately we've got this new guy that was in Anyway,
Twilight.
The point is each one of those series were made by different directors and whatnot, and had a different take on the character.
Yeah.
but the same basic premise of the character remained the same. The gender remained the same. They tried new things with the character, but the character, for the most part, remained the same.
Well, see, Adam West wasn't the original Batman. A lot of people don't realize Batman came out in the 30s in a film series, which was played by a different actor.
Yeah, I was going to say.
See, because right now, a lot of people are really don't really like the Batwoman.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, and people are there are people pushing back saying, "Well, you're prejudiced. You're gender phobic or something like that." But it's not. It's not that.
No,
I have no problems at all with a woman or someone.
I don't either.
Anybody
I
being the lead
don't
character.
either. I mean, but they should have written the character a little bit better, more respect on what lineage she's supposed to be from, or who she. Because apparently, the CW series Batwoman, the lady that played Batwoman was supposed to be the cousin of Bruce Wayne.
Right. But anyway, yeah, I digress on it. Like I said, I just, if you're going to do something like that, make it original, create a whole new character. There were several movies with brand new superheroes that came out that were huge successes. Just
well, a lot of people hated what was that shit? Hated Captain Marvel, Brie. I forgot her last name. But they hated her character because they knew it was not. It was just not really written as well as what maybe like what most of the comics portrayed her to be.
It's not only that. Once you've had years and generations of viewers seeing that character one way. Don't try and make it another way all of a sudden. It just doesn't sit well with the majority of the audience, because you got to remember, you're going to have people who know the superhero series in and out back all their lives, and then all of a sudden you're trying to cater to a newer generation. They've already brought their kids up with the idea that this is the old generation. They've introduced them, and the kids have seen it, and then all of a sudden these kids come and see it in a different light. It's seriously a bad hit and miss.
But when you start messing with gender,
to do stuff like that,
when you start messing with gender and race with already established characters, it's a recipe for disaster.
It's a big risk, and there's no guarantee you're going to come out of it. And if you're doing it for the reasons that some of these have done it, I'm telling you, in my opinion, some of the reasons they've done it is just to shove it up the nose of the male population or whatever it is. It's the wrong reason to do it. That's why I said they should have picked a totally different character each time they wanted to make a new TV series. Instead of like picking the Ghostbusters, they should have picked something that people love but didn't really know so much about it, and then make a big movie about that and make it a success. Nobody who knew who the freak the Ghostbusters were until they made the Ghostbusters, and they did it so well, everyone loved the Ghostbusters, and now it's an icon.
The sucky thing about this is, so there are some people, a very small percentage of people that watch that 2016 movie and think that's it. That's the Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, that's fine. And it's a very small percentage, and that's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. But you've ruined it for all those big percentages that thought that, hold on, this might be an interesting movie, and then saw it go.
Thank you, the Eco Guy. There's the list of people who played Batman.
I'll tell you this. When I saw the Michael Keaton version of Batman, I thought he did a hell of a good job as being Batman.
He is coming back in the new Flash movie.
Then you got Joker. The Joker. The original was
Joker's another one right there. I don't mean to interrupt you, Raven, but I'm like ADD, like not ADD, but like attention deficit. And if I don't say it right now, I'm going to forget. Why don't they make Hamill a Joker in a movie? Like, he voices the Joker, and it's a masterpiece of a voice.
Oh,
And
Mark
he's known
Hamill?
for that. Why don't they just make him a Joker in a movie?
And Tales of Solace has got my next point exactly right. And I'll go back to Doctor Who, folks, because I'm really a big Doctor Who. And there's one thing that pisses me off about when they changed the gender on Doctor Who. They already made a female Doctor Who. It was a clone of the 10th Doctor that went away on their own way and carried on with their own life and everything else. And they could have made that a remake. Bring it back. Let's see how she goes. Let's see what happens. As the Doctor was dying, introduce the other one, and then they would have had the female Doctor without actually screwing up the original series and the memory for all
I
those
agree
people
with
who
you
actually
there,
enjoyed the
Flippy.
series.
I agree with you there because I saw that and I thought, man, how could he have a child when all of a sudden you introduce a character and all of a sudden the doctor finds out that that was his kid.
Mm.
I mean, heck, it would have been
I mean,
really
to
interesting.
be
It would
really
have been
honest,
made
the
a
Marvel-
better one. You know what I mean? Than this Jodie Wicker or whatever his name is.
So, what's everyone's take on plastic? What?
Plastic,
Plastic in general.
useful stuff, but it's
That boils down to human responsibility again.
Yeah.
Plastic is a wonderful thing, but like someone in Spider-Man movie once said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah,
You can
unfortunately,
do wonderful
there's-
things with plastic, but it needs to be recycled and not put
Exactly.
in the water and some random landfill.
No, exactly. The problem we have, there are some plastics that are not recyclable and can only be sent to ground waste or whatever because they can't do anything else with it. And instead of trying to get rid of plastic in general, they should get rid of the plastics that cannot be reused. If it's not a reusable plastic,
yeah.
we shouldn't have it. And then we should be pumping our resources into how we can reuse that plastic over and over and over again instead of adding more plastics to the whole problem as it is.
Mhm.
I can't believe the size of the garbage island that floats off between the two main continents, and most of it's fucking plastic. Excuse that. Sorry, that took from PG-13 down to.
No, it's true. That
Well,
I will
absolutely
authorize that. That's the
appalled
only
by
one
that information.
it's the only
swear,
F-bomb in a PG-13 I can allow.
That's like you're trying to get rid of a lot of stuff, and it's like, heck, it always comes back. Try to throw it in the dump or trying to throw it in places. Hell, a lot of people got to realize plastic is useful at certain things, but you got to understand that a lot of people don't always recycle.
Yeah, I know. But the issue being with glass will return itself back to nature. Tin will return itself back to nature. Wood will return itself back to nature, and it won't adversely affect nature in the long term. Plastics, there's nothing it can be in nature, and it can sit there for it's like the half-life of uranium. It's seriously, the world would die before the uranium became something they could reuse in anything. Plastic is just one of those things. It's a misuse of a very good idea by corporations that just want to make a lot of money real quick.
I know there is a process underway. There are some initiatives underway to try to clean that up in the ocean, but it's barely making a dent right now. Because, like you said, it's huge. It's like the size of a continent.
Oh well, a large island. It's
take care, Shadow.
There's also initiatives being undertaken by certain governments around the world to actually try and reduce the need to rely on plastics. Here, we're not allowed to have. They're trying their best to get rid of soft plastics that are not recyclable. We don't have drinking straws because people just have no idea how to throw a drinking straw in the bin. and we're trying to discourage the move away from glass to plastic, which has been happening over the last 50, 60 years. So we don't have this issue with pollution that we have no control of. It's one of the worst things to actually watch people sit there having to cut plastic out off of sea creatures that have no idea what the hell plastic is, because they've got that much garbage out there. It's just killing them.
I gotta share this.
Hemp was one of the best forms of natural product. Oh, that is absolutely ridiculous. And that's only one. That's the stupid thing about it. That's only one. There is one actually bigger than that off the coast of Hawaii, a long way off the coast of Hawaii, just floating and moving with the tides, and it's growing. That's the stupid thing about it. It's growing.
Glass bottles for a lot of soft drinks like they did in the 1980s and before.
I'm not going to point out which country this has caused this problem in our country, but I drink this. This is a
completely biodegradable container.
The problem is a major drink company bought this company out, and they're pushing plastic bottles, trying to get these off the production line and have plastic bottles put in it. I can't drink out of those plastic bottles. They did not design them to be comfortably to drink out of. The top edge is sharp around your lips. You can't recycle the bottle with the lid attached to it. I'm going, frick, seriously? You can only recycle the bottom, you can't recycle the top? Are we joking? This is, you just throw it in the bin. It gets recycled as cardboard. If they don't want to recycle it, I can throw it in my backyard and have it rot down and actually add to my plants and the compost in my garden. But the bonus of it is, you see what it says there?
I see a recycle thing. Yeah, 10 cents. Oh, wow. You get a deposit on those?
We get a deposit on a lot of our drinking items because people were just throwing them away. We have people going around cleaning up the streets to pick that 10 cents up, and people make lots of money out of it. Every year, the amount of these that I drink, I put into a box, into a bag, take them to the recycling centre, and that gives my daughter Christmas.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
So, and she has the same thing. She has drink water bottles. A bottle of water has a 10-cent deposit on it. You take it back for claiming your 10 cents. Beer bottles, drink bottles, soft drink cans, anything to do with this type of stuff has a 10-cent deposit of it in my state. And we had that for 10 years in my state until the rest of Australia said, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
I don't have a problem with plastics. I have a problem with humanity and the way they handle plastics. You know, we need to get our shit together on so many different things in so many different ways. It's not even funny.
That's why we're going to Mars.
That's one of the things we should and need to do, but we still need to get a lot of our stuff together here too. You know, it's just one of those things.
We mess one planet up, comes another one, right?
Well, if one gets destroyed, we'll have another one still
destroy.
2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep wrecking. Wherever man goes, it's gonna be a mess. So.
Yes, and the problem is, Tales of Solace, if we stop making that profit available to the manufacturers, they're going to think twice about whether or not that's a good idea because they ain't going to make the profit. The issue with making the profit is if we stop buying things that we don't agree with to stop their profit, they will change the way they do their profit. If public opinion is not to buy everything in plastic all the time, they'll stop paying for plastic because eventually plastic's not going to be needed. The price of plastic is going to go up, and it's not going to be financially viable for them to keep doing that.
Right now, it's really not financially viable. But if we get some innovators in there that can show, the big tycoons that, it can be a profitable business to recycle.
Well, I liken it to the fabric industry. at a stage, somebody decided that Australian wool was not the wool to buy because we crutch our sheep. Now, I don't know if anyone understands what crutching a sheep is. Because of the breed of sheep that we have in Australia, we developed it for ourselves because it's the most, it produces the most amount of wool in a season. The type of sheep we ended up breeding. The problem with that, because it has rolls and rolls and rolls of skin, which increased our yield off a sheep higher. It also has rolls of skin that wraps around the rear end. And when they go to the toilet, it sticks to the wool. And then because nobody goes around and washes 2.5 million sheep's asses, flies land on that and lay eggs, and then it infests and causes sores and everything around the sheep. So the answer back in the 50s, when this was a problem, was to cut the excess skin off the sheep. So basically it's called crutching a sheep. You cut that excess skin so there's no skin there for the wool to grow so this can happen. You heal the sheep. The sheep doesn't have a forever. It's just that it has an uncomfortable amount of time, like a week. And then we carried on. Someone heard about this, decided they didn't like the practice, and decided that they should boycott Australian wool. And that hit us for like 25 to 30 years. Our wool industry was devastated because the textile industry just didn't want our product because they didn't agree with it. If we did the same thing to people who rely on plastics for their containers, the plastic industry is going to really feel it, and they're going to really know about it, and they're going to think twice about what their practice is. Do we need to make a more recyclable plastic? Do we need to get rid of those non-recyclable materials? Do we need to have innovation of what we're going to do about whether we're going to recycle? Everything is recyclable if you have the mindset for it. And we're not doing that as consumers. We're just accepting what they're throwing at us and allowing us to keep carrying on, and we should be doing more.
Tales of the Solstice, I hear you. The pandemic has really messed with a lot of companies, including recycling centers. That's for sure. Yeah, we have to buy bags now. In the state of Maine, I don't know if it's this way all over the U.S., but in the state of Maine, we have to either bring our bags to shop, no matter where we go, or we have to buy bags.
Yeah, we have the same. We have same thing all over Australia now. Plastic shopping bags are allowed to be, but you have to pay for them, and they're not cheap for what they are. And people are either reluctant to do it and carry their own bags with them, or they find other uses for those bags because they want to get their money's worth.
Wally is a perfect and endearing example of what could potentially happen. I don't know if you guys have not watched Wally, it's a perfect example of what we're talking about.
It is an interesting movie.
It really is. It's a great take on it. I mean, not necessarily Wally the character, but like the whole idea that humanity treated Earth like crap and it became inhabitable. Mother Nature said, I'm done with you. You can't live here no more. But yeah.
And we all got fat and lazy.
Yes, we did. Because all of humanity somehow was on this huge,
luxury ship or
luxury liner, with hovering reclining chairs, and they never had to get up for anything.
Nope.
Everything was produced for them. They didn't have to do the exercises. They didn't have to do any of these things, so they got fat and lazy.
Yep, fat and lazy. That's what the plan is.
I think a lot of people have really kind of gotten that way too, in the ways not being hateful or not going out.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to say people. I'm going to say we have gotten lazy, because I'm adding myself to that in a lot of ways. There's a lot of times where I could have done things a little bit better than I should have, and it's just a little bit easier not to. Or at that time, I really didn't give a shit enough to think about it. But
well said.
I applaud people like Dan and Ian Matthews and all those that have found a hobby or a living in recycling the laziness of the rest of society.
I do it too.
I said, and the others. I also didn't mention that he wastes Mike either, and he does it more than anybody else. I've seen you do it, Gil. Unfortunately, you're not quite up there with all
How you
those other
doing,
guys
Gil?
yet when it comes to recycling.
What do you mean in terms of what?
The volume and the amount of times and
What's
Well,
happening,
that's just-
Gil? How
that's
you
just
doing,
what
bud?
I show on YouTube. Like I don't show a fraction of what I do on YouTube.
exactly where the others do. And look, the fact that he's on panel now, he's not doing a bloody
How
live,
you
but he's
doing,
still
Gil?
bloody recycling, and he's still doing what he does, and he's got it left, right, and centre everywhere. And I applaud the people who really put their 100% effort
Can you guys hear
into
me?
their hobby of that type.
Wanna go golf?
Yes,
Yes,
Mr.
we can.
Faulkner,
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
We're
How
just
you
rude
doing?
and ignorant and talking over you.
Good.
That's good.
Being a good talker.
My dad's out of the hospital.
He's in the hospital or out of the
He's
hospital?
out.
Good for him.
Yep. He's gonna be in rehab in a couple of days.
Rehab. What happened?
So,
I want to ask you something, Bolton.
yeah.
What happened?
What's that, Raven?
Staples and paper
What
clips.
happened to your father is what Dan was asking you.
Oh, he got he had a car accident.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
Was it
it's
by
good to hear
call?
he's getting better.
Yeah, I'm glad he's out loud.
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen this. I have seen a video where a guy was driving a stolen motorcycle in Los Angeles, going over 100 and some miles an hour. Hit a car, and you see the guy flipping over like this, and the reporter's like freaking out. What just happened? And the guy was killed instantly because when you hit a ground at that speed, you're dead.
Unfortunately, Raven, under that circumstance, I have no sympathy for the person who died.
There was
You
a news reporter got in a hit by a car.
You hurt yourself
On
while
Wednesday
driving
night.
in a stolen vehicle of any kind to the stage where you're either hospitalised, comatized,
It was
paralysed,
on
or dead.
WS.
To me, that's karma and that's natural selection.
I feel for the family. I feel for the person
Yeah.
in the other side of the accident, and I feel for anybody who got in the way or was affected by the
Yeah.
fact that that person had that. But I don't feel for the person who did it.
But that person that decided to commit the crime, I agree. I don't have any sympathy as well.
And I feel for your father because I've 18 months. Sorry.
He didn't steal the car, did he, Mr. Fulton Mares?
No, he did. He didn't. It was,
Of course, I'm being funny, but yeah, we do feel for you, Dad.
30 months now since I had my car accident, and I'm still feeling it.
Yeah.
Still feeling
I
it.
should probably head off here so I can get stuff done.
You taking off, Mr. Fulton?
I am, and I
All
just
right. Well, I hope you have a good day, sir. Thank you for stopping
and I
by.
also have my 23rd birthday, so
Yes, sent 1,000. If you could start a business with somebody else scrapping, I think that would be a very
you guys have a
beneficial
good
thing.
rest of your day.
No
You
worries,
too,
sir.
Mr. Fulton
Thank you very
Mares.
much.
Thanks.
I think the earth would be a benefit, and your area would benefit, and it'll all be a damn good thing. And maybe if you televise it on YouTube, you may inspire other people to do exactly the same thing, exactly the same way Skillz does when he does scrapping and recycling. The inspiration he gives. Oh, I can't go down that road. That's just too much.
Geez, you don't need to butter up. It's okay.
I had to really embellish that for a sec there.
You did. You dove in a little too deep, buddy.
You went a little farther.
But no, nonetheless, I mean, it's a way for me to be able to do my part. You know, yes, it's a way to make money, but I feel like I'm accomplishing multiple things by doing it. It helps me mentally. It's very therapeutic when I do it. It de-stresses me. It makes me money. I'm helping the planet. I'm recycling materials. All of those things.
So, who thinks of ways that in YouTube could improve itself?
YouTube improving itself. Oh my god.
Oh my Lord.
Hey, mate, I've got lots of cans of worms here. If you like, I can open every single one of them.
Yeah, unless you want to get your channel banned.
I've got a few. As everyone has noticed, I have quite a few different channels.
YouTube is, oh my gosh. I think this is going to be difficult because I know YouTube's trying to improve itself, but I think YouTube is built upon a bunch of Band-Aid fixes. And in some respects, it's a house of cards.
I think YouTube is trying to improve itself in the wrong direction.
Me too.
It's trying to get too politically correct. It's trying to get too user-friendly. I think YouTube would improve itself a hell of a lot better if it separated itself, became multiple entities under the same banner, age related basically, and that type of thing. At the moment, it's trying to make YouTube all one standard way of being things, and the world isn't that way. You can't spread yourself across the world and expect everybody to have the same like-minded thinking way of doing stuff and being and existing, and they're trying to enforce it, and it's so wrong.
I think YouTube is contradicting in a lot of ways because, like, there are new folks that are trying to get themselves out there, that are trying to do all the right things that will get their channel exposure, but YouTube doesn't necessarily give that exposure to those channels right away for various reasons, even though some of those things are designed to give them more exposure. And then there's just one thing that just makes the channel take off, and then all of a sudden it's like a light switch. The channel has exposure. Do you understand what I'm trying to say by that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know of many channels that have grown rapidly and then halted rapidly, and then basically haven't gone into obscurity, but have lost the attention span of the people who were watching them regularly. But then something's happened again, and they've come into the limelight, and they've grown a little bit rapidly again, and then halted rapidly. And then there's other channels that are just leaps and bounds, absolute leaps and bounds, and other channels that all of a sudden, where did they go? They were so popular, and now I don't know who the hell they are or where they are. I can't seem to find anything about them, or they haven't put anything out in 5 years' time, or something like that. It's just...
Well, what kills me is how some channels get like all of a sudden 5,000 subs, and then you check them out, and they have like only maybe 100 views. Where's the other 4,900?
Hey, I don't know if you're speaking about any specific people, but you basically brought that down to my single channel. No. But yeah, I understand that completely.
Like I have 1,400 subs, and I'm lucky if I get 200 views.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you get 200 views with 1,400 subs, that's awesome. Really, the rule of thumb is you should be getting at least 10% of the views versus your subscriber base. So, like for someone like me that has 5,000 subscribers, I should have 500 views in all of my videos. But
Tales of Solace, the problem I have with that statement, YouTube would be better if they stopped listening to Karens and started focus on encouraging the quality content more than the junk content people upload just for views. The problem I've noticed is in watching, and I watch a lot of YouTube, some content providers burn out in giving a regular amount of content that is interesting. You can only come up with so much for so long before you either run out of ideas or you start repeating yourself. And that's what some of these reasonable YouTubers have got to understand. Finding something that keeps everybody interested all the time is a very, very hard thing to do in the time frame that they've given themselves. At the beginning, people are starting to put up videos daily or weekly, and finding out the amount of effort and work they have to put into keeping that content improving and getting better and worth watching is taking more and more of their personal time. So they're reducing the amount they do it, and then not putting as much effort into it, or they've run out of ideas, or the trend is headed in a different direction, and they're struggling to maintain the momentum they had before, and slowly, ultimately, they're crashing and dying. For you to say that YouTube needs to stop letting the Karens, it's not generally the Karens that are saying what YouTube can put out. It's generally the audience are expecting higher expectations like they do with movies. And it's very hard to meet those expectations on a regular basis for some of the mid-range YouTubers. The higher YouTubers, doesn't matter how much shit content they got out, they got that many views and that many subs and everything else. It doesn't affect them so much in the overall picture of things. They do drop down, but not to a stage where they just go, oh, I don't know if I can do this anymore, or it's getting hard, or so forth and so on. It's those mid-range ones that have made it, but can't quite get past that point of, I've got a few thousand subs and I need to get better. It's because it's very hard to keep coming up with new, innovative, interesting content that people have. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gil and... see, he's gone that long, I think, forgetting who he was. Who was that guy you used to always be with before R5?
Recycle Dude.
Recycle Dude, yeah.
Rocks.
You guys used to do quite a regular segment together, and you were building a good following and starting to get your subscribers up, and everything was going really well. And then I'm not going to go into the politics of why it happened, but then that stopped happening. And then you
know why it happened, and I have no illusion at all explaining why that happened. But essentially, I ended up getting swatted, and that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, and then you guys started going separate ways, but you still took off in directions separate to where that was, and you still became popular and you still became interesting, whereas Recycled Dude kind of like dropped off on the wayside. No matter how much he tried, he never seemed to get it back again. And it's very hard to maintain the momentum of growth.
Right now, guys, I gotta get out of here. I'm getting tired. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Raven. You take care, buddy. Enjoy your day, okay?
Yeah.
Hot Missy, I wanted to answer your question real quick. They shouldn't be. If you're regularly watching your like the people that you're subscribed to, and interacting and engaging with that channel, they shouldn't be unsubscribing. Now, has that ever happened? Yes, YouTube has unsubscribed people, but normally they'll only unsubscribe if you subscribe to them and you maybe watch a video and then never watch another video again.
I know that there is a certain amount of an algorithm in there that you have to also interact with videos. You can't just watch videos and use them for a commercial entertainment system.
That too.
You need to interact. You need to put comments. You need to be in chats. You need to actually show that you're not just subscribed to them for the simple fact is that that's what you want to do. And they can only see that. They can't see that you're the person who's watching. They can only see that an audience is watching. But when you personally place comments, even if it's I loved your stream, thanks for having it, enough times within what they do, then you become what's classed as a supportive regular, and then they don't take you off. I have a lot of channels I occasionally go into and put comments into, and I don't get unsubscribed from them. But I reckon if I go through my list of people in my subscription list, I will probably recall, hold on, wasn't I subscribed to them? It's because it could be a good 6 or 8 months since I actually said anything in any of their videos or anything I've watched of theirs. And that's the reason why I end up getting unsubscribed. It's not only that, this system isn't perfect. And sometimes it mistakes what it thinks is the correct thing for what's not the correct thing, and it just does what's called basically a clean wipe, and it takes a certain percentage of them and says we keep them, the rest of it, if they're really serious, they'll resubscribe, and they just wipe them out anyway.
And that's a great segue into what Hot Mess Missy's saying here. She says that I can only see YouTube Shorts. When I click on YouTube Shorts, they already have thousands of likes. YouTube Shorts is an advantage to a channel because it's a lot like Facebook in a way. Like when you post, it's like an ongoing stream of posts. After a while, it's going to become old and people have to, scroll a mile to find it. But once you post, it's seen by a whole bunch of people. It's put into that, the short, what do they call that there? The playlist or whatever. And you get a burst of people that have never seen your channel before. So it's a great opportunity to gain subscribers. But I think what you're trying to say is like when you click on shorts, sometimes YouTube only recommends the shorts, and that's a great thing for YouTube in a way, but it's a downfall to YouTube in a way because they're trying to cater to what you like and what you click on. So when you go to the YouTube homepage again, you're going to see similar stuff to what you clicked on in the past. However, that takes away certain things that you might be interested in.
All right, I'll liken it to that. I have binges. All right, there's points where I go through YouTube because I'm bored and I want to watch something, and I'll find something that was interesting, and another one will pop up, and I go, all right, I'll watch that one too. That looks interesting, and I'll put it down to. I used to watch a lot of variety of YouTube on a regular basis, and so I was always suggested that this would be something I might be interested in. But there were times there where I started watching recycling videos, and that's all I could see on my suggested list was 80% majority was recycling.
Yeah.
Repair videos, so there were restoration videos, and anything that had it. Sorry about that. Anything that had anything to do with restoration kept popping up. Lately, I've been watching watch repair videos, and every 30 out of 40 video suggestions that come up on my channel is how to, or somebody restoring an old watch or a fob watch or whatever. It's how you peruse yourself around YouTube. It's also how many likes you actually do. I don't always like the videos I watch, but I watch a video, and if I decide I don't like it, I'm not one who will put a dislike on something, because I don't believe in giving negative feedback that I'm not going to have a comment against. Because if I disliked all the ones I actually don't want to see any more of, I'd have to go down and comment, and then I'd be there all day spending time disliking and commenting on half the videos I watch because I was disappointed with the thumbnail and the name, and it was clickbait, and I'm pissed off at it, and I don't. It's easier for me to like the ones I really like and just move on from the ones I just, that wasn't bad, I might watch another one later. But YouTube don't see that. YouTube just sees the algorithm, says he watched this, let's give him that. He watched another one, let's give him more of that. And he watched another one, let's keep giving him that, because obviously he's going to watch them. And
what's up, buddy?
Oh,
do you pick your nose?
no, as soon as I get to a certain temperature, I lose all color in my fingers. They turn white.
Oh, man.
Oh, I thought you picked your nose and you were showing us. I don't want to see that.
I see you got the wood stove going.
And see, they get wrinkly and everything. Like, and they stay wrinkly until the blood starts. See, this one's all nice and red. This one's got a white finger already.
Do you start getting tingly after a while, and do they go numb on you?
Yeah, it's called Raynaud's disease.
Hey, Northern Territory from the south of Australia.
Fingers and toes turn white. So it's from repeated abuse and shit like that, you know. Working man's hands.
Okay. Yeah, Nathan. Hi, Nathan from Adelaide.
Yep. Jahante Tambak. It's good to see you, buddy. Nathan, a.k.a. Nathan.
I'm Nathan. How you doing, Nathan?
Hope life's treating you well. So we've been going for 2 hours now, so I think I'm probably going to end the stream. Let's check and see if anybody is live that we could possibly
Raffle
raid.
goes at 3:00.
Raffle goes at 3?
Yeah, hard time.
Okay, so there's really nobody to raid right now. So,
Eco guy, don't click on your shorts on the beach. They don't like that.
no, they don't like that at all. You might get tackled, amongst other things.
All right,
Thank
Gil.
you, Hot
Thank you
Mess
for having me
Food.
up.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having everybody up here. It's always good to see you, Dan, Gaffa, everybody in the chat. I hope you have a wonderful day, guys, and I'll see you on the interwebs.
All right.
Take
So
care.
what's the current topic?